Why is PLSX valuable? Okay, so PLSX is valuable because it's Uniswap on steroids. Think about when the premier DEX on Ethereum launched. Everyone FOMO'd into it. Now, imagine when the premier DEX launches on a brand new chain that already has 160 plus and counting projects that are already being built or have been built, plus the largest and one of the most enthusiastic and engaging communities in the world in crypto waiting for this. Imagine that going into Uniswap, waiting for that. Now, imagine that Uniswap token has a function built in within Uniswap to buy up the Uniswap token and then burn that token from the supply every time any transaction goes through the exchange. That seems like there's some value there as to what, especially if there's any moderate success in that major exchange. Oh, and another success point to the exchange. Imagine if Uniswap harvested all the liquidity on Ethereum that was with ETH pairs and brought it to one place so that it was the best place to transact. There was the probability of having the largest players be able to get the least amount of slippage. So you have even higher transaction fees is also increasing. So you're burning more of that token. What's that going to do to price? I think there's a lot of value to be had with PLSX. And I mean, there's a lot of resources out there. So I don't understand your animosity towards that particular. I mean, I'd like to hear you guys go off on the next point, but I mean, PLSX is easy to see in my opinion. There's just so many points to contend what you're saying or implying it's not.
Well, let me jump on a little bit because I never get to talk about PLSX.
Let's go.
I don't think
do a GIF. Bring a GIF. Bring it.
Yeah.
But let me just put it this way: like when Uniswap came out, Uniswap V1, there was no token, right? There was no token for it. And people were using it, and Uniswap is arguably one of the greatest inventions in all of cryptocurrency, right? Like that was a huge innovation. And once they launched the actual token, what they did was they just airdropped it to everybody who was using it, right? Which was great, right? Like that's free money, right? Free money coming out to all the users. But there's no actual utility to the token, and it's not really tied to the Uniswap protocol at all, other than the fact that you can vote using the Uniswap token. But it doesn't matter because the founding crew has all the tokens anyway, so they could override and veto everything, right? And they've shown in the past that they're willing to do that. So the point being is that you're taking one of the most innovative features of all of cryptocurrency, and you're bringing in all the liquidity that is going to be in existence on this new network, and you're funneling it through this token. And not only are you using it to create pairs, and it's going to be the most liquid pair of pretty much everything, right up there with PLS, the native token itself. But also you've got the burning feature and the buy and burn, right? You've got all these extra tokenomics that are just going to continue to drive value in that space. So if you look at PLSX and you don't see the value, you need to look at Uniswap a little bit closer and understand how that protocol works and how PLSX is going to leverage everything great about Uniswap and add more to it.
Mm-hmm. And if anything pumps on PulseX and FOMO occurs on anything, it drags up PLSX with it because of the buy and burn. And imagine the beginning of an ecosystem where everybody's FOMOing on everything. And even if it's not PulseX, what do you think that's going to do to PulseX? It could potentially create an upward trend, and that could create FOMO, and that could create an upward spiral for PulseX as well. There's some really interesting mechanics that can happen through FOMO that directly impacts PulseX.
I think the only thing you guys didn't say was it's a Richard Hart product, and he designs things to appreciate.